The Wooden Shoe Tulip Company near Woodburn, Oregon is a family-owned farm that opens its doors to the public each spring. Families can taste farm-fresh food, play games, and walk through acres of colorful tulips. But this farm, like many in Oregon, is constantly evolving to thrive and keep pace with the changing economy.
It's a family farm. My dad and mom bought the farm in 1950. And then we were offered the opportunity to grow tulips back in about 1974. My parents, my brothers were coming back to the farm and they thought, oh yeah, it's a new crop. We'll custom grow for this gentleman in Indiana. When he retired in 1980, my brothers bought the bulb stock. And so when they bought the bulb stock, all of a sudden they had these bulbs and no market. So they went out to, Holland Bulb Company and sold wholesale, but, there wasn't a lot of money in it. So at that time, my sister, myself, I had 3 sister-in-laws, and my little brother Paul, decided we'd start Wooden Shoe Bulb Company. We'd start this little company, and we'd retail the tulip bulbs for my brothers. Because, I wasn't back to the farm, and I was still just out of college. And anyway, so we started Wooden Shoe Bulb Company, and we went to the first yard garden and patio show at its inception. We went to all the garden shows, and we'd take a sheet of paper and sit there at the table and try and sell bulbs. And it was a dismal failure. I mean, it was terrible. It didn't work. And there were a couple ladies in Woodburn that would come out and they'd drive around the fields every year and say, you need to open those fields to the public. And it was yeah. We thought, okay, Easter weekend's going to fall perfect. We're going to be in full bloom. Why don't we put up a little PVC greenhouse out in the field and we'll open to the public. So we put a little ad in the Woodburn Independent and opened that weekend, and we had beautiful weather and we had a traffic jam. We thought, I think we're on to something here. And Newman Road's a one-lane road anyway, so it didn't take much to impress us in those years. We probably had 50 cars, but it kind of got us to thinking, well, maybe that's what we needed to do. And then so over the years, we've just added.
Besides strolling through the tulip fields and testing their pumping skills, families can see steam-powered machines from farming's past. Tractor enthusiasts stage demonstrations of what these aging but powerful machines can do.
They kind of started this about 12 years ago, and they kind of let the public come in here, and you get amazed because you see people come out of the city that have never been on dirt before. You see little kids getting into mud puddles, and the parents think, let him, he's never seen it before. It's kind of amazing. Stuff that we take for granted all the time, So it's interesting, but I think it's done a lot for the community because they allow other parts of the community to come out here too, Of course, they allow us to come in here and play too, so we like that, It's been a good thing,
Oregon farmers maintain a strong link to the past, and they are forced to continually adapt to an ever-changing economy. The wooden shoe has looked for new options as some traditional crops have faded.
You don't have the dry bulb sales that you once did. And even the demographics out here change. We used to have the gardeners in the early years, and now we have, from all over the world. I mean, we've got a board in there, and they're supposed to pin where they're from, and you name it, they're from there. And you walk out, you don't realize the diversity in Oregon till you come out here and you walk among the rows and listen to people, and the number of languages, it's incredible. This on this side, this is what we call our quote show field. Yeah. So we kind of lead most of this, but we're still picking. We have pickers out here every day, and we're picking and shipping, all over the country.
Okay.
And that's really our big market is, for the farm, because at Wooden Shoe, and then there's the farm. And the farm itself, we farm close to 2,000 acres. We do grass seed and wheat and green beans and sweet corn, things like that. And the tulips is just another crop. Well, the income from this crop is really our cut flower. So like our admission, since we don't have the gardeners anymore, and people don't buy, everybody that came in, if everybody that came in bought a bouquet of tulips, then we wouldn't have to charge, but that doesn't happen anymore. So that's where the admission becomes important, because I leave these flowers here for people to walk through and take their pictures, but I don't have a crop off of it. So I sacrifice the crop for the visitors. So that's where the parking fee becomes important to us to offset that loss.
Despite the hard times, Barb Iverson sees a future for agriculture, but a future with challenges.
It's tough. The grass seed industry, I don't know that that'll ever come back. I don't know that we'll ever see it the way it was. You know, people's lives have changed. They don't do the overseeding. We thought we were highly diversified because we had, a portion in grass seed and then a portion in green beans and a portion in cut flowers. And within that you had greenhouse flowers, daffodils, field flowers, and even within the grass seed you had tall fescue, perennial ryegrass, and you grew for 5 different people. You thought you were insured, and that's diversification in the Willamette Valley. That's what we do. And except when everything falls flat, there isn't a lot to prop it up. So, when grass seed, the bottom fell out of that, it just kills you. As long as wheat stays up, but that's up and down. That's a commodity crop. Green beans, it's tough to get that price to come up. You just saw Truett Brothers just laid off some more people. And you're growing for those guys, and you're trying to inch the price up to you, but then fuel prices go way up, and it kills you. So, unless you go specialty and high value crops in the valley, and then of course then you've got the nurseries, and they've done that, and now they're suffering. So, I don't know, because for us, like, crop insurances don't work. We've had people come in and look at that. We're diversified, for risk, for a reason, and but when everything drops, it's tough. And I don't want to sound negative, because there are opportunities out there, but the margins are really tight. You're just trying to, any way you can, to survive, and it's what you have to do.